Welcome to psychometric.com. Today we will look at aptitude tests for Australian firefighters. These firefighters work in the emergency and rescue services of Australia, responsible for responding to fires, accidents, medical emergencies, hazardous materials incidents, and situations that pose a risk to the community. In Australia, the selection process to become a firefighter is very competitive, so aptitude tests are applied to assess if candidates have the necessary skills for the job. These tests usually measure logical reasoning, verbal comprehension, numerical calculation, attention, memory, decision-making, and problem-solving skills under pressure, as a firefighter must act quickly, follow instructions precisely, and make safe decisions in emergency situations. So what do the aptitude tests for firefighters in Australia involve? They can include any type of aptitude test, but usually include tests of logical, spatial, and mechanical reasoning. How can we pass these tests? By practicing in advance with similar exercises and learning tips and strategies to perform better. In our course, you have access to online and PDF tests, and you also have a section with tips and tricks to complete the exercises more efficiently. We have left the link to the course in the video description, and now we're going to see a short mock test of 12 exercises, and I hope it helps you. Let's begin. 40% of the people living in a building that needs to be evacuated are still in their apartments. Of those, 2/5 are on the stairs, and 2/8, that is 35 people, need help to get out. How many people live in the building? I didn't mention it here, but in this type of test, the most important thing is to work quickly, since we will have very little time to solve the exercises. As you will see now, they are very simple exercises. The only problem we have is time. And usually these tests are designed so you don't have time to finish them. If you want, you can pause the video and solve it yourselves. Here they tell us that 40% of the people living in the building are still inside. They tell us that of this 40%, 2/5 are on the stairs, and 2/8, that is 2/8 is equal to 1/4, are 35 people. How many people live in the building? So we just need to know that 1/4 of 40% is 10%, and 10% of all the people living in the building is 35 people. Well, obviously, 100% to know how many people live in the whole building would be to multiply 35 by 10. So the correct answer would be option B, 350. Now, the problem here, as I said before, is time. If we start doing strange equations, start adding variables, start getting confused, we get nervous, time starts to pass, and other competitors overtake us. So the most important thing here is to work calmly, and usually these exercises are simple, and there is no need to create strange equations or anything too difficult. Let's move on to exercise 2. If 1826 is equal to TNTS, 7435 is equal to. In this exercise, we have to see what logic this number and these letters have to find the logic in the response reasons. Here, normally, each number corresponds to a letter. The logic can be, for example, the position in the alphabet, the initials, etc. We have to find it. In this case, I can tell you that this exercise can be a bit complicated, but once you see it, it is quite easy to solve. In this case, it would be the number +1, which gives us the initial of the number. That is, 1 + 1 is 2. Here we have the initial. 8 + 1 is 9. Here we have the initial, the N. 2 + 1 equals 3. Here we have the initial T. And 6 + 1 equals 6. Here we have the S, the initial. So in this case, it would be 7 + 1. It would be 8. The initial would be E. Then we look among the answer options, which one starts with E, and there is only one correct answer option, option B. Therefore, the correct answer would be option B. In the test, we answer the question and move on to the next one to save time, as time is what matters here. You can check the result yourself, and if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Let's move on to exercise 3. Which ladder is more stable? In this case, we need to look at the ladder and see which angle is best to ensure it doesn't tip over in either direction, causing the firefighter to fall. Here I will tell you the correct answer. The correct answer would be A, since the 75-degree angle is the balance point where the resulting forces on the supports are most stable. Therefore, the correct answer would be option A. B is too vertical, and C and D are too horizontal. Let's move on to exercise number 4. How many differences are there between the groups? Here it is simply a matter of finding differences. The key is to go fast, mark them so we do not get lost, and work as quickly as possible. We look at the first line, we see one error, the second appears the same, the third we have this symbol, and the rest seems the same. If we count them, we have 3. The correct answer would be option B. We move on to exercise number 5. Determine the letter that continues the series. In this case, we are given C, E, I, O, and we have to figure out the logic the letters follow to guess the question mark. Here, for those of you who are beginners, you might find yourselves a bit lost, or end up wasting a minute or more figuring out how the exercise works. And if you have practiced before, you will know that these exercises usually work with the alphabetical position of the letters. So, to see it more clearly, let's write out the alphabet to make it easier for those of you who are new to this type of exercise. We see the C here, then the E, we see it moves forward by 2, then the I, we see it moves forward by 4, then the O, we see there is a +6 here. We can clearly see a pattern of +2, +4, +6, so now this gives me a +8, and if we count, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It would be W, so the answer is option B. And it is worth saying that it is almost always the letter's position in the alphabet, but it can also be other types of logic that are out of the ordinary, such as all vowels, all consonants, all with curved parts, all with straight parts, anything we can think of, or initials of anything. But usually, I would say 80% of the time or more, it is the position of the letters in the alphabet. Let us move on to exercise number 6. Determine the option that completes the series. We are given 2 figures and the equivalent, what this figure does to become this one. And now we have to guess what this figure does so that it has the same equivalent as this one here. Here, if you want, you can pause the video and try to solve it yourselves. Here, for example, we see that the ends are inverted, black becomes white, and white becomes black. So the same thing would happen here at these ends. We should find a horizontal figure that has this bottom part black and this bottom part black. So option A is already ruled out, and option D as well. We are left with B and C. Here we see how the central part changes colour and goes from grey to black. Here we see the grey, so here it would go up and change to black. So the correct answer would be option C. Moving on to exercise number 7, Jack is third in a 400-metre race. His brother Henry is ahead of him. Lewis passed them both 6 seconds ago, and Alfred is watching them all from behind. Which premise is true? Here in this case, we have to read the statement, understand it, and see which of the 4 answer options is correct. Here, to avoid confusion, we can simply place them in the position they tell us. It says Jack is third, so put his initial. Henry goes ahead of him, Lewis passed both of them, so he's ahead, we put his initial, and Alfred looks at all of them from behind, meaning he goes last. So, according to this arrangement, Lewis first, second Henry, third Jack, and fourth Alfred. It states Alfred goes in first place, false. Alfred goes last, Lewis goes in first place, correct. The correct answer would be option B. Henry is in third place, no, he is in second place. And Jack is in second place, no, he is in third place. As I said before, it is a simple exercise that everyone could solve if given 10 minutes, but you must be aware that we will be given very little time, and we have to solve this exercise as quickly as possible. If it is 10 seconds, 20 seconds, much better. Let us move on to exercise number 8. Solve the following equation. Here they present us with an equation, and we simply have to guess the value of the unknown. Here in this exercise, the only thing we have to remember is that the number in front of the parentheses multiplies the first and the second. And then the rest is simply very easy. So keeping this in mind, it would be 4x minus 4 minus 2x minus 4 equals 4. And that would be it. The exercise is very simple. Here we have 2x and we move the rest to the other side of the equals sign, which would be 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is 12. And then we move the 2 to the other side by dividing, and x would be equal to 6. The correct answer would be D, 6. And the same thing, it is very simple. Just remember the detail that the number in front of the parentheses multiplies both numbers, and the rest is very simple. It is just working very quickly, and that is it. Let us move on to exercise number 9. Determine the option that completes the series. Here we see different figures with different colours, so we have to guess the logic the figures and colours follow to figure out which figure goes in the question mark. Here, for example, we see that in each row we have 2 circles and 1 square, and there is always 1 black circle. In this case, since this row already has a black circle, option A can be ruled out, as we have already met the requirement of having 1 black circle in each row. We also have the square in each row. Now it looks like we need a coloured circle to complete the logic that each row has one coloured circle, one black circle, and one square of a different colour. The correct answer would be option B. The logic of the exercise, as I told you, is that the squares have primary colours, the circles have secondary colours, and in each row there is a black circle. In this case, the squares having primary colours or the circles having secondary colours wouldn't be needed to solve the exercise, since they only give us one circle of a colour other than black that would go here. So this is already the correct answer. Let's move on to exercise number 10. The figure shown corresponds to the first element of a series. If A moves 2 spaces clockwise with each change and B 1 space counterclockwise, which option corresponds to the third figure in the series? That is to say, there will be another figure here and we have to guess the one that comes next. It tells us that A moves 2 spaces clockwise with each change. So A will advance in this direction 2 spaces, first here, and then it has one more change, so it would advance to here. This wedge would appear black, and for option B they tell us it moves 1 space counterclockwise, that is, first it moves here to this position and then here again. So what would happen is that these 2 wedges would appear painted black. That is the correct answer, and if we look among the answer options we see that it would be option D. This exercise is also very easy. The only thing is that you have to deal with the nerves, you think that time is running out and all that, and we have to work quickly and confidently. For this, as I have said, I recommend the course where you have a lot of exercises in PDF and online, and you have a section where we teach tricks and tips to do this faster. Now let's move on to exercise number 11. Which option corresponds to the unfolded cube? In this case, we are given an unfolded cube, and we have to determine, when folding this cube, which correct answer option corresponds to the unfolded cube. Here you have a video on the channel explaining only this type of exercise. Also, of course, it's all very well explained within the course. Here's a basic trick for doing this type of exercise. The opposite faces in the unfolded cube cannot touch each other in the folded cube. That is to say, neither A nor D can touch within the unfolded cube, nor can B and E touch within the unfolded cube, nor can C and F touch within the unfolded cube. In other words, if we see a folded cube where these faces touch, we can discard that answer option. Let us see if A or D touch in a folded cube. We see that they do not. Neither can B and E nor C and F. In this case, for example, we cannot rule out any answer options, but I will say that usually you can always rule out 1 or 2, and this helps us a lot. You should also know that these faces, when folded, this outer face moves here 90 degrees, and F the same 90 degrees. To see how the figures are positioned in relation to the letters. For example, A can already be ruled out because we see that C has what would be the opening pointing toward B, and here we see how it is not positioned correctly. The opening points elsewhere. So option A can already be ruled out. Option B should be ruled out by seeing that these 2 faces here would be these 2 faces. They fit perfectly right now, and we have to see how the F would look in relation to these 2 faces. I told you that this face moves 90 degrees. So the F, when rotated 90 degrees, would look like this with the top part pointing toward the D. And we see how in answer option B they are parallel, so that would also be incorrect. Here in option C, we see how these 2 faces here would be these 2 faces here. This fits, and now we have to look at the F. We see how it is placed parallel to the A, and here we see how the F is lying upside down, so option C is also ruled out. So the correct answer is option D. If I were in the exam, I would just mark it and move on to save time. But let's correct it here. Let's clean this up a bit to make it simpler. Here we see how these 2 faces here would be these 2 faces here. We see how D points vertically to B, just like here. And now we see how C, if we rotate it 90 degrees here, would end up this way. We see exactly how C would end up here. The correct answer would be option D. If anyone doesn't see it, I recommend drawing this on paper, cutting it out, and you can make a physical cube yourselves so you can see it more easily. Or you can also take a photo with your phone and rotate the phone. You rotate this part here, and you can also see it more easily that way. The only way to make it easier, since in the exam you won't be able to have a physical cube or turn your phone or anything like that, the ideal thing is to practice a lot and you will solve it much more easily. Let's move on to exercise number 12. If camel is to Sahara, jaguar is to... We have to see what relationship camel and Sahara have to find it for jaguar. This question is quite simple. The camel is the emblematic animal of the Sahara, so we need to find out which area the jaguar is the emblematic animal of. Is it the jungle? Is it a cat from Brazil? No, it's from the Amazon. The jaguar is the emblematic animal of the Amazon. Of course, this would be option A, and well, we have now reached the end of this mock test for the Australian Firefighter Aptitude Test. And as I said, if you want to access more tests, more online and PDF exercises, and tips and tricks, we look forward to seeing you in our course. I have left the URL in the video description. Any questions you have, you can comment on the video, and well, I hope I have helped you, and I will see you inside the course. Best regards.